Now after Spider-Man 2 was released, it was received positively, and Activision decided to make another Spider-Man game that wasn't based on the movie. So, they decided to look at recent comics and saw the Ultimate Spider-Man line, and wanted to work with Sony and Marvel to adapt that into the next hit game. As I boot up the game with the profile P31, I get hit with a lot of cutscene info that my stupid non-comic book reader mind doesn't like. So if you're a fan of the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, get ready to hate me.
Grab your torch and pitchforks!
So in this story, Peter Parker and Eddie Brock are best friends, and both of their fathers were scientists who created the symbiote, and Eddie gets pissed that Peter tried to use the suit and couldn't handle the suit. So, now you finally get to play. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You made punching and kicking the same button back in Spider-Man 2. Why couldn't you keep the same layout? Now we're back at the same layout that Spider-Man 1 did. It's a complete step backwards. So Peter beats up Eddie, or I guess Venom, then you bring him to the glowy spot and beat him up some more until the cops shoot at Venom. Venom gets shocked, but then we cut to 3 months later, and I don't understand why, because nothing ended the story there. 3 months later, Peter and MJ talk, and Peter needs a stitch patched in his suit.
I can explain the hole in the butt, by the way.
Please don't.
Yeah, please don't. So you play as Peter while crawling home to grab his web shooters, just defying physics out in the open and in broad daylight.
It's me, the amazing jumping man.
Shut up. Web swinging in broad daylight because I don't believe that secret identities exist in this universe, so I'll just go with it. And it's not the greatest. Spider-Man 2 is a huge step up from Spider-Man 1, but web swinging in this game feels like a rock on a string.
Man, what did I ever do before I was able to web swing? Oh, yeah, I remember. I used to get my butt kicked and people called me names. Oh, and the wedgies. The glorious super wedgies.
Well, learn to stand up for yourself. So I get all suited up and take on Shocker.
What the fuck are you wearing?
So I fight Shocker for less than a minute and wonder why I'm supposed to take him seriously. I beat up some thugs and then I race the Human Torch for some reason. So far, this game is kinda boring me. So I race Johnny Storm, save some civilians, and then I get to play as Venom. Flashback to 3 months earlier where the game started and Andrew in Toombs ends up doxing Venom. You climb buildings, fight some bad guys, and feed off civilians to revive health. Then Venom fights Wolverine. Seems cool, right? Well, it's not. It feels like I'm mashing buttons. Then after you fight Wolfie, you go back to Spidey. So this game works in similar fashion to Spider-Man 2, where you do random tasks in between the plot. In Spider-Man 2, there were racing tokens, but they were optional, meaning I never did them. But here, they're mandatory, and they're not fun at all. So now the Rhino is destroying the city, and you've got to clean it up.
Oh, great! Now you're going to steal my stuff!
Well, actually, I was saving your life.
Okay, now I agree with Spidey. This guy's being a dick. Leave him there to die.
Terceros, Bacornis! Terceros, Bacornis!
Dude, what are you saying?
You knock the Rhino down with a wrecking ball, and then, oh my god, this fight is still going! Fight the Rhino again, and then when he throws cars, you hit him in his back when he's exposed. Once Rhino is defeated...
Back away from me, Master Avenger! My diminutive corpus will not withstand your contumelious defeasance!
This is the nerd. The fucking nerd.
Do some more BS Spidey missions, and then Venom fights off some soldiers. Why is it whenever Spider-Man stops a car, he bangs on it? The same thing happens in Spider-Man 2. Yeah, if anyone ever tries to take off in your car, don't call the cops or anything. Just hop on the hood, beat the car, then maybe they'll stop. Let me know how that works for you. Later, you get to play as Venom chasing Electro through the city, and the arrow that navigates you is not helpful in the slightest. The chase levers that they had in the last 2 games were better, and they say that using L3 could target the enemy, but that doesn't work. So I don't know if it's my controller or a glitch, but either way, it doesn't work. Once you finally catch up to Electro, you fight him. Spidey tries to help, but Electro takes him out. The first wave of the fight goes well, but once the second wave hits, he charges up. Oh, that's why he's blue. This fight took me over an hour. The problem is if the space is too big, he moves around too much, so the camera lock-on doesn't work. He's a pain in the ass because you have to throw the cars at him, then you can attack because he can't be blue when you want to attack, and it's annoying because you have to line up the car while you throw the car at the same time, and when you're finally done with that, you get back to Spider-Man, where you fight Iron Man, Ant-Man, War Machine, Beetle. You chase him around the city where he steals some Orange Crush, and I'm starting to think he doesn't like Spider-Man very much.
You are very irritating.
Really? Oh, I like to think I'm more charming than irritating.
Is it me, or is Spider-Man just an asshole in this game? Everything he says is just condescending. We fight MCU reject number 12, and he gets away. Do some more mundane Spidey stuff, and then Venom fights more soldiers, but it's during the day. Ooh, huge twist. And that's where I gave up. Spider-Man's a dick, the controls suck, half the time it feels like I'm mashing buttons, and this is supposed to be one of the better Spider-Man games, and the same thing was said about Maximum Carnage, but the thing is, in both of those games you keep mashing buttons, but the games are incredibly unfair, so really, these games suck. Alright, one more game to end it all. Spider-Man 3 for the PlayStation 3. At least it says I get a free movie ticket here, so that's something. The game downloads a possible virus to my PS3, and you're thrown right into the game.
Everything's ready, Mr. Carlisle.
Huh?
Who? Afrojack? Who?
Okay, this is the H-Bomber, an original character for this game, because the movie sure as hell didn't have enough villains already.
Spider-Man!
No autographs, please.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Press the attack button to attack.
Oh my god, they got Bruce Campbell back again? Look, I love the guy, but the joke doesn't stick the third time around.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh great, 2 attack buttons again, awesome. So I go through the tutorial, and if you fail, Bruce yells at you, and I can't take it, so I take my frustration out on the enemies.
Man, you sure do get hit a lot. You know, there's a handy dodge button you could be using to keep that pretty face of yours intact. Hold the dodge button down when you see the attack hitting you.
Oh cool, QTE.
I'm going to die! Thanks for flying Air Spidey.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, after that level, the opening credits show us how bad the rest of the game is gonna look.
Harry, my best friend.
Looks terrible. Okay, on to the web swinging tutorial, and oh my god, it's fucking terrible. It's so slow. You can increase speed, but it's still terrible. I said that Ultimate was bad, but that wasn't bad, at least when you were in the city. This is just horrible.
Hey, see that little marker on the screen? That sucks.
Bruce, you need some time alone. So once you do all that, you get to the map where you have 1 of 3 missions to start from. The Lizard, Apocalypse, or a date with MJ. I'll do the most painful and start with the MJ mission. Oh, thank God I get a waypoint. So the web swing to the mission is just okay. Web swinging around the city with MJ, and the timer font looks horrible. After that, Peter and MJ talk about how Harry still thinks that Peter killed his dad, and then the symbiote shows up and attaches to Peter. There's not really a connection to space here at all. They just throw it in. Also, Peter has Treyarch shoes.
What are those?
Then we take a look and see what Harry's up to.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Then I have to web swing through the park, so that's fun. New mission. Dr. Carters gives himself the lizard DNA.
Ow. Stings a bit more than I expected.
Stings, doesn't it?
Saves some guy from the docks. Oh, this game's not so bad. Alright, the local bank is being held up with bombs, so you have to beat the thugs, save the people in the vault, standard stuff. Next, you have to get rid of the other bombs, so I go to the red dot on the map, right? I check the roof of the building. No, because when the timer runs out, they show me the bombs that are in the same building. And when you get to the bombs, you carry them, it takes 3 steps, and they explode. Thankfully, you can skip this level, and I decided to go the lizard next. So in the first lizard level that I didn't mention because I don't give a shit, Dr. Connors has his lizard DNA arm gun thing clipped through his body, and I can say for even 2007 these graphics are horrible. So in the first lizard level, it's just some guy in a costume. The second level, you fight the lizard spawn somehow, and until you fight Dr. Connors himself. And this boss fight is horrible. Just wait, QTE, and then you beat him. But now when you actually fight him, his health barely moves, but you're the one who gets taken a beating. After you beat the lizard, you finally get to the Spider-Man 3 part of Spider-Man 3, when Peter and Harry fight. The part that really pisses me off about this level is that they fight in the middle of the street. What the hell happened to Peter Parker having his alter ego? So you fight Harry on his hoverboard, and yes, he actually did have a sword in the movie in one scene, and it's not even the scene that they're depicting. The best strategy for this fight is to lure Harry into one of these courts, and that way the fight is easier.
Well, that was fun.
Also, when you die, it takes forever to load the menu. I timed it, it's a full 7 seconds. Also, whenever I get a combo of hits, it shows the name of the move, and I'm legitimately just mashing buttons. So all these combo names are bullshit. And I give up on Spider-Man 3. Both of these games are terrible. Ultimate Spider-Man is a button-mashing pain in the ass. Spider-Man 3 is a glitchy pain in the ass. Maybe if I played this game when I was younger, I would like it a bit more. Spider-Man 3 is just irredeemable, and both of these games are just awful, and the 2600 Atari Spider-Man game was way better than both of these combined. I'm done.
40,000 years of evolution and we barely even tapped the vastness of human potential.